What is up, guys? Pappy here, and in today's video I wanted to give y'all 5 tips on how to use Thruster to the best of its ability, to the best of your ability. So right off the rip, we're going to go into the first tip, which we're going to be using Wellspring that I have on this sidearm here I never use. Kills with this weapon generate ability energy. This ability energy is divided between all of your uncharged abilities. And then the other one is Classy Contender, which only comes on this gun, I believe. It might come on a new gun, a new thing, whatever the name of that hand cannon was from Solstice. It might come on there, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't play much during Solstice, so I don't even think I have one. But Classy Contender states that final blows with this weapon generate class ability energy. It also comes with hockey reach armaments. Now, one thing I remember specifically about this gun is that it's not very good on controller, which is what I play on. I don't ever use this. And on top of that, the energy you get back from it isn't that much. Although it is more than what you get back from Wellspring. I'll go ahead and show y'all. Let me run up here and find some aliens. Hello, Fallen. So this is Wellspring. If you watch the ability energy, it doesn't go up much, like at all. It's so small that it's just not even hardly worth it. Now, if I go up here, swap to the sub, you notice it provides a bit bigger of a chunk, which is why Classy Contender is focused specifically towards the class ability, but the Wellspring perk is specifically targeted to any of the abilities, any and all of them. It probably only gives you back like 1%, 5%. It's a really small number. I don't even think it's 10%. It probably just gives you back a very small amount. Let me go back over here to my hidey hole. So, Classic Contender is better because it focuses towards your class ability, and Wellspring is good because it focuses towards all abilities, just all the ones that don't have any energy charged. So the benefit, what I think you should do is that the title isn't a very good submachine gun. It's only good if you're on mouse and keyboard, and even then, why would you use the title? Like, just use out of bounds or literally anything else. Like, the title is not that good. But I will say that you might want to consider running Wellspring, and I'm not sure if there's an enhanced Wellspring, but if there was, I mean, definitely I would use that. I just don't know if you want to use Wellspring in place of other stuff. But for the first tip, that's that one. You can use Wellspring or Classy Contender to get your class ability back a little bit faster. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and put on Heart of Inmost Light. This is tip number 2, Heart of Inmost Light. It is the only exotic that gives you, that benefits your thruster class ability. So if I was to get rid of my ability energy here, I don't know why I'm going towards enemies, I don't really need to. But if I use it, it charges back standard speed. I throw my grenade, it like doubles its ability regeneration. It's really fast, and you can dash again and get that empowered grenade ×2. It has a lot of synergy with all your other perks. It might get a nerf. If it doesn't get a nerf, it's going to, they might buff other neutral game exotics. I really don't know exactly what they're gonna do, but yeah, this should give me empowered barricade ×2, and you get it back so fast. Look at it regenerate. It went away. I lost the charges. But if you can keep this up, and with a combination of other like perks and stuff on like in your armor, the mods and whatnot, you can combine that with like Classy Contender or even like Wellspring. Like, you can get your thruster class ability back in 5 seconds or less. The typical is around 6 or 7 seconds. That's like the typical amount. But with Heart of Inmost Light, you can get it back so fast. But on top of that, you can use, like, if you're playing, oh my gosh, if you're playing PvP and you die and you've used your grenade in your melee or something, or one or the other, and you're on your way back to your teammates and to the fight, you can use Thruster to buff your melee and grenade energy regeneration. So you can use Thruster probably 2 or 3 times depending on how big the map is, and just dash towards the enemies, and by the time you get there you might have all regenerated your abilities completely. Like if I use my grenade and I dash and I'm running towards the fight, I have that empowered grenade times 1 at that point, and then times 2 if I use it again in time, and then I have it back. And so if you're running high grenade energy, high melee energy, and high resilience, I would probably run like max resilience and then run max grenade or melee. With Titan this season, I would definitely use maximum grenade energy because this tracks enemies and it's absolutely amazing in PvP. So this kind of is a good segue into the next point, which is not really a point, but this is more of a bonus. But I have 2 other videos out where that teaches you how to get your Thruster class ability back in just 5 seconds. And then at the typical, again, 5 seconds is only whenever you've got every buff going for you, but you can get it all the way down to I think 4 seconds, which is insanely fast. But the typical sits around about 6 or 7 seconds. But you can get it to be around the 5 second mark pretty often. The other video I made is, I think I titled it the Storm Titan build, and it's basically Armamentarium, but you could sub Armamentarium for Heart of Inmost Light if you wanted to. That's really kind of up to you on that one and what you wanted to do with it. But it lets you use your lightning or storm grenades a whole lot, and it's pretty devastating at PvP. For the third tip, the actual third tip, Thruster has a problem where I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate it, but if you use it, sometimes you will get stuck, like literally stuck in the ground. I can't replicate it that often. It's usually something that happens maybe once a day if I play a lot of Destiny that day. But it typically only happens if I'm going uphill in any kind of way, whether it's backwards, forwards, left or right, whichever way I'm going, or if I'm like on a flat surface. This isn't the most flat surface, but it'll also do it that way, especially if I'm pointed kind of down a little bit. So what you're going to want to do to prevent yourself from getting stuck until they fix that glitch is you want to do it off of ledges like this. Oh, well, not like that. You want to do it off of ledges. Actually do it. And you'll kind of launch off of it. It's a very tiny Titan skate maneuver. It's not really the best Titan skating ability. Of course, I'm sure there are plenty more that are way better to do, but like this one is simple. It's simple enough to do where anybody can do it, really. The other way to prevent yourself from getting stuck in the ground is to use it while looking slightly up. Slightly up tends to work almost all of the time, because your thruster kind of pushes you in the direction you're pointing. So if I point towards the ground, I'm gonna move, but I'm also gonna kind of scoot, and it doesn't seem as far to me. I haven't actually like took out the measuring tape and tried to measure this, but if you look up, you kind of do a little hop a little bit. It's not very much, but I believe it keeps you from getting stuck in the ground. I know whenever I'm playing PvP, if I get stuck in the ground, you kind of just glide, but you're stuck in the ground. It's very glitchy feeling, but you're kind of like stuck in the ground and sliding around. It's very weird. And you can't jump for a second. Now, if you spam jump and you use your double jump, or if you try to use thruster again or something, you can dislodge yourself pretty quickly. So it's not the worst thing, but when you're trying to clutch a game of like, maybe Rumble or a competitive match, or even trials. Hey Trucks, how you doing, dog? If you I'm not trying to get you to follow me. You don't have to. Raw. I think he's a new player. I'm gonna leave him now. I'm not trying to make a friend. Go away. Okay, good, he left. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is you don't want to get stuck, especially if you're trying to clutch in PvP or something. You would much rather launch yourself successfully and not get stuck in the ground and keep going at. That's about all I have for tip 3 there. It's mostly just telling you all about the glitch that can happen and how to prevent it to the best of your ability. The 4th tip is to simply be aware of your surroundings. This kind of goes with the other tip a little bit, but if I'm right here, say this is a PvP map, and I'm like right here, and I just like ran up here like, oh, I'm gonna shoot whoever's up here, pow, 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 pow. And then I get over here, I'm like, oh crap, the guys are coming, and there's like a group of them, 2 or 3 of them jump up and they're ready to like mow me down. If I'm not aware, now this is kind of a stupid example, but if I'm not aware that this is here, and I'm like, oh crap, if I go this way I can get behind these rocks and maybe I'll be safe, but if I go this way I'm gonna die. So you're like, oof, and you just kind of get stuck, and it really screws you over, then you're dead. But if you were a little bit more aware of your surroundings, what you could do is, maybe if you were to jump over and then dash, you could have dashed backwards. You probably still would have been shot, but if they were pushing with like subs and shotguns and stuff like that, fusions, and they're coming over here and they're ready to like rush you with those weapons, you could just backpedal and you'd be fine. So you would pull back and do it like that. Now I kind of got stuck and hit this, so again, be aware of your surroundings. So you might want to back up, maybe look away from them for a second, check where you're at, and then dash off of that. Because it's also kind of a ledge, you're going to get a lot more distance and momentum from your thruster than if you were just to use it like on a flat surface or something. So especially if you can find yourself a ledge, like if they're coming and you want to make sure you're safe, plant yourself on a ledge or plant yourself next to a wall like this or something. It's I forget who does the video, but it's like the 60-40 rule. You want to see 60 and you want to have 40% of your screen blocked. And if you're in this kind of situation, you can be like making pot shots repeatedly, and then as they come towards you, you can back up over here and swap guns and blast them away. They probably know where you are, but the fact that you move so quickly to get out of the way, it'll be helpful. But again, you wouldn't be able to make this kind of move if there was like a box right here, like there is in a lot of Destiny's locations. There's a lot of rubble and shrubbery and stuff like that. So if I'm running around and I'm trying to do that same thing and I just bump into this, I'm probably a dead man, to be honest. Same thing if you're going backwards or sideways, forwards, whichever way you're going, you want to make sure that you're not accidentally near a ledge like this as well, because you don't want to accidentally kill yourself. Like if I'm right here and I'm fighting these guys, I'm like, oh no, I gotta get away, and I just fall off and kill myself, then I mean, what did I even really accomplish? So be aware of your surroundings. You'll just bump into stuff. There's a chance you could literally glitch into an object and get stuck, or you could kill yourself by falling off of the map by accident. And you don't want to do any of those things. You want to make sure that you avoid all of those situations, and stick to using it on ledges, stick to using it to find cover rather than get stuck by hitting a piece of cover. Let's see, what was my last tip, or if that was all of them so far. Let's see. Yeah, the last tip is if you're using it in combat, and I've kind of talked about this a little bit. What's up, Gabe? Wow. I love running around the Cosmodrome and seeing all these new lights. They're cute. Yes, if you're in combat, and you're in PvP especially, if someone's running at you with a glaive, this is a perfect example. Just running at you with a glaive, which I failed miserably, but you can use your dash to like backpedal, get out of the way of the glaive, and your teammate pops up just like good old Mr. Carlos over here. And Gabriel. Your teammates can pop in to do that. They're coming, you know, you dash this way, you blast them. It's good to backpedal. The other thing you could do, backpedaling is really good if you're running against the shotgunner, because think of the backpedal as if you slid backwards, which is harder to do on controller, but it's very easy to do on mouse and keyboard, although it does take a bit more skill. What you can do is whenever the shotgun rusher's coming at you and they slide towards you to shoot you, you can be like, oh, and back up, and they're gonna do like, they're gonna lose one of their shotgun shots. It might not work if they're using a slug, but if they're using just like your standard pellet shotgun, then you know you're probably gonna survive. The other thing that you can do while you're in combat is if they're shooting at you, say this guy, you can dash to the side and get out of the way, especially if they're using a sniper, and again, maybe even a shotgun. One of the other benefits to dashing to the side is if you wait till like the last second the shotgun rusher's coming at you, and you dash to the side and you have a shotgun, you can blast them with the shotgun immediately afterwards. Like, let me try to see if I can do this real quick. But if I was to do it, I would go like, they're coming at me, I would dash to the side, they would whiff their shot, and then I would blast them. But you could also add on to that something even more effective, is that you could dash to the side, slide forward, and then shoot them. And you would more than likely secure the kill in most scenarios. In high skill PvP, I mean, you may be playing against a hunter that with a dodge, you may be playing against another thruster titan. If that's the case, then they're probably gonna slide in, blast, you're gonna dodge backwards. They're either gonna thrust forwards or dodge forwards or something to close that gap a little bit more, and then they're gonna shoot you and you might die. It's just more of a game of rock, paper, scissors kinda at that point to see who's gonna do what, you know, predicting your enemy's movements, making sure you're engaging with the people that you need to engage with given your specific loadout. I think that's about all I have, really. You know, again, you know, if you're using Heart of Inmost Light and you're in a PvP match, just use it on the way to the fight. And by the time, you know, you won't even run out of your empowered grenade and melee yet, and you can keep running, and by the time it hits 1 second or 2 seconds, you can use it again, and you'll have that empowered grenade ×2 again. And you can just keep that up too. You can just do it repeatedly. See how I'm able to keep up empowered barricade, grenade, and melee, like very easily. I can just keep doing it, and it's quite good. It's quite busted. You're able to keep up your abilities just like significantly. Before you know it, you'll have your super. Blow them away. But anyway, guys, well, I was trying to find somewhere safe to do the outro. We run away back to where I was. Yeah, anyway, guys, that's been it for me. I hope you enjoyed the tips. If you had some other tips that you want to let other people know about Thruster, let me know. Just let us know in the comments, and we'd be glad to read them, and maybe we can all become better Thruster Titans as we go along. Anyway, guys, it's been me, Pappy, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.